All right, so we're going to be taking a look at an example of a scenario which deals with equations, okay, with an S on there. So there is multiple equations, which means there are multiple parameters which are describing this scenario or this context that we have. Now, when we have something like this, usually what's going to happen is we're going to end up with one specific answer that comes out of this, not a multitude of answers, which could come out of just a single equation. There's multiple ways of doing things. No, it's going to have one specific answer that's going to come out of this. So let's take a look at the example there. We have a shipping container which contains large and small tires. A large tire weighs 60 pounds and a small tire weighs 20 pounds. The container has a total of 250 tires, which have a total weight of 7,000 pounds. All right, we have multiple parameters in this case, which are going to define how many of each variable we have. But first thing we need to do is solve for the variables, or define our variables. That's the question. That's number one up there. If you look on the top up there, yep, you betcha. Okay, number one, we need to define our variables. So what are our two variables? What are the two things that are going to affect the total number of tires and the total weight? Two things we don't know. Well, they're going to be number one, the number of large tires that we have, and number two, the number of small tires that we have. Usually these two things, which are variables, are related to each other, and therefore we can, once we know one, we can kind of find the other one as a part of that. So let's solve, okay? Or let's try solving. Well, we need some equations first. And we have a couple of parameters that are a part of our context that we can use to find those equations. The first one that we have here is the total number of tires. We are told that there's 250 tires. Well, we have a variable for large tires and a variable for number of small tires. And if we are to add them together, we'll get the total number of tires. So this would be x plus y is equal to 250. Now that one should be fairly straightforward. It's looking at just a total number, and it's a matter of just adding them together. The second one is a little bit more difficult, as that one is going to have something to do with weight, and our variables aren't the weight of the large tires, so we actually have to find the weight of the large tires. Well, based on the number of large tires, if we multiply that value by 60, because that's how much each tire weighs, we're going to get the weight of the large tires. And same thing with the small tires. If we take small tires and multiply them by 20, we're going to get the weight of the small tires. That is going to give us the weight of the total tires when we add them all together. So 60, which is the weight of the large tire, times the number of large tires, gives us total weight of the large tires, plus 20 times the number of small tires, which gives us the total weight of the small tires, gives us the total weight of 7,000 pounds. All right, so that is our two inequalities. Now, domain and range are going to come into play as well. We want to give those. Tires, we can't have half a tire or part of a tire, so we're going to say that they have to be whole numbers. It's kind of a negative number of tires. And small tires, the same thing. To find a solution to this scenario, we can graph this out. Okay? And when we graph it out, it's going to look like that. Okay, so everybody kind of sees at the bottom there. Yeah, you betcha. That is going to be the graph of our two lines. Okay, the first one, the red one being our first equation, and the blue one being our second equation. Now, there are numerous points that work for each of the lines, but only one point that works for both of the lines. And that is going to be our answer. So our answer here is that there are 50 large tires, because x equals 50, and 200 small tires. Once we have those lines crossing, we can find the answer to the question. I hope this has helped you to see an example of how to do this kind of question. All the best as you work through your questions, and thank you so much for watching.